Our continuing Beyond Belief series takes a look at mysterious religious practices around the world. Tonight, we take a look at exorcism.
The power of Christ compels you.
Exorcist, one who expels evil spirits by conjuration or exorcism.
By the judge of the living and the dead, to depart from the servant of God.
Horrific images of girls screaming in agony, their bodies twisting and contorting in unhuman ways. In truth, such theatrics are quite rare, but the actual rituals are not. Father Gary Thomas is a Catholic priest in California. He is one of the few priests trained to be an exorcist. In 2005, he was selected by his bishop to attend a Vatican-sponsored course on exorcisms.
When I went off to Rome on my sabbatical, there was a course being taught at the Regina Apostolorum Seminary at the time on exorcism and deliverance, and then took the initiative and found an exorcist in Rome from whom I could receive from him some hands-on training and mentoring, and that's how I became the mandated exorcist of the diocese.
In this class, Father Gary befriended Matt Baglio, a freelance journalist who was taking the class for research purposes.
When I met Father Gary, I was very surprised by his openness, his humility. He was very honest to me that he didn't know anything about exorcism, and I found that to be fascinating. You know, why don't priests know this stuff? Why aren't they taught things about the devil and exorcism?
Baglio combines his research and Father Gary's training in his new book, The Rite, The Making of a Modern Exorcist.
I was able to follow him through his training, and we were just able to share our experiences and really go on this journey together.
A journey that dates back to the days of Jesus.
There's also plenty of places found in the Gospels where Jesus clearly performed exorcisms and didn't simply heal people of organic maladies.
Father Gary has performed over 40 exorcisms, and he knows firsthand what an encounter with a demon is like.
Most people have to invite a demon in to themselves. I use the word metaphorically, a doorway. You have to open a door to allow a demon the possibility to enter. When you pray deliverance prayers or you pray the rite of exorcism, they can agitate the demon. And demons don't want to be agitated. They want to be secretive. They want to be silent. They don't want to give up their name. They don't want to have anything to do with anything of the sacred and the holy.
One of the things that surprised me the most when I started to see exorcisms was the relative normalcy of the people involved. I think most people assume the reactions are always going to be violent, and that's just not the case. The majority of cases that these exorcists see are very mild. Now, in a very few instances, there are said to be very strong reactions. I saw a few where the person's personality changed and their voice became very guttural and gruff.
The reality is few people realize what actually takes place during the rarely spoken about Catholic ritual until now. What you are about to hear is audio from an actual exorcism that Baglio recorded in Rome.
During the ritual, when the exorcist prays over the person and the person loses consciousness, and that's when you see these dramatic reactions, the eyes rolling up or rolling down, the whites showing, and the gruff, guttural voice.
Those prayers have power, and people aren't acting these things out because, in a sense, they lose control when the demon begins to be agitated. They have no control over that. Sometimes they're not even aware it's happening. They'll do all that they can to hide from anybody who invokes them to come out, to free the party from the state of oppression.
But convincing people that exorcisms are real is still a tough task.
Once I started reading up on the theology, and then later once I participated in exorcisms, I really got to see it in a new light. Exorcists don't have magic powers. They aren't charismatic individuals who have this ability to cast out demons at the snap of a finger. Really, the power comes through the prayer.
Just because we can't see something or feel something or measure something doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And Satan's greatest deception is convincing people that Satan doesn't exist.
So are demonic possession and exorcism rituals the products of an overactive imagination? Exaggerated plots of Hollywood movies? Or are they simply beyond belief?
Ja, ale widzę nic nie pewno. Ja. Een keer zullen we maar even iets te doen, maar die hebben vaak ja, het is oermotten. Ja. Vast.
Waarom?
The origins of Satan are certainly mysterious. There are no facts surrounding where or when he emerged. This mystery has led to numerous legends that have surfaced over the centuries, explaining where this evil icon got his start. One tale explains that he was once even close to God. The beast we know as Satan was once one of God's most favored angels, but he possessed greed and envy, and one day asked the Lord for more. He requested that he be given his own kingdom to reign over. God granted him his wish, and with one sweep of his mighty wrath, Satan was cast out of heaven forever. As the story has it, Satan's fall from grace was not a lonely one.
According to tradition, it was the most powerful and intelligent angelic being. He loved himself, and finally he decided to have his own path, his independence, and later he became more and more selfish and finally completely evil.
According to this legend, he reached out grabbing angels along the way, and in hell, those saints became demons, workers to carry out Satan's evil tasks. In this new domain, he was the ruler of all and had total control over anyone who stepped foot into this dreadful inferno. Eventually, Satan became aware of his powers and honed in his new abilities.
Most Orthodox theologians would say that that can be through the influence of the devil. Now, it doesn't mean that all temptations come from the devil. You know, in fact, there's a range of opinion about that.
Demonic possession is a preternatural phenomenon. It's not ordinary. Sin is ordinary. Anybody can sin. Anybody can do sins. Even if demons would not exist, sin could exist on the earth.
He sent his demons into the world to bring havoc. Through his work, people were tempted to commit sin, and in any way move away from God and closer to him. The demons would sometimes whisper into the ears of innocents to try and convince them to commit sins. The determination and strength of Satan's work would escalate and eventually attempt to take over one's mind and body with an evil spirit, unfortunately, with success. It is known that the Church does not officially acknowledge this or any other legend surrounding the origins of Satan. What we do know is that however Satan got his start, he is present today, always tempting us to drift away from our Savior. The work of evil spirits possessing one's mind and body has been occurring for centuries upon centuries. It is always an ongoing battle to fight the elements of evil and sin. This battle has been happening since the days of Christ.
Sam, now she told police that she thought her girls were possessed by demons.
Well, in fact, Leon, she did that. The case is still at the pretrial stage, but spectators are packing in every day as the judge continues to watch the interview that police did with Benita Jax 18 months ago, just after she was arrested. Detective, 4 dead kids, only one person there is the mother. What are you going to think? Jax, it wasn't me. Detective, if you didn't murder them, who murdered them? That was one of the exchanges Judge Frederick Weisberg saw today as he, along with lawyers and spectators, watched videotape of detectives interrogating 35-year-old Benita Jax hours after authorities discovered the children's mummified bodies. Jax told lawmen her children were all demon-possessed, especially 17-year-old Brittany, whom she called Jezebel, saying the girl tried to choke her and push her down the stairs. Brittany's body was found in a sealed room with a knife and blood on the floor. Spectators described the tape as disturbing.
No one came to the children's rescue.
She got everything in place on what she wanted to say and what she wanted to do.
So you don't think she's crazy?
No, I don't.
MPD Detective Daryl Richmond was one of the interrogators on the tape. Jax told him and his partner that day that her younger daughters, Tatiana, age 11, Nakaya, 6, Asia, 5, were also demon-possessed. They were found laid side by side in a room. She said they died from lack of food. Detectives expressed exasperation. Detective, you've been in that house with 4 dead bodies for months. I can't understand how you can stay in there all that time. Jax, I'm not saying it was easy. None of this has been easy.
Many people think that in exorcism all the time are happening preternatural phenomena. But that's not true. Usually the demonic possession is just as is described in the Gospel. If you read the Gospels, in that simple way is demonic possession. But even in the Gospel appear some cases that go farther than standard possession. Sometimes happen very strange things that we cannot explain by natural laws. I have seen, for example, to do a question with my mind, and after 2 minutes the demon inside the possessed person answering that question. I have asked things in different languages, especially Latin, and even children, they understand the question and they answer exactly, specifically what you have asked. I have seen in a case that demon knew the whole Bible by memory and by chapter and verse. But what is more shocking for everybody is levitation. In all these years and so many cases, only twice happened in the chapel that the possessed person levitates from the ground, yes, something like that.
Yeah.
Touch her? Tell me when I touch her. Am I touch her? Am I touch her foot? In the roll it. Yeah, walk it.
Well, our cameras were in the area again this morning as a clergyman visited the boys' home to witness the events for himself and tried to help. Kalila Enriquez has a follow-up.
Hit me with a stone, come on. Hit me with a stone.
For several minutes Friday morning, Bishop Rohan Edwards challenged what he believed was an evil spirit to show his presence. Although family members claimed the ghost had been throwing objects, there was no evidence of that before the bishop. But it wasn't long before whatever force was responsible responded to the challenge.
Try to take him away, let me see. Oh, you're afraid, you're a coward. You're not doing nothing. All right. Oh.
But Bishop Edwards wanted to be doubly sure.
You tried it once, I want you to do it again. So we can know how.
Let him.
Hang on. Hang on, don't touch him, don't touch him.
It was evidence enough for the bishop that a spirit was indeed intent on harming the child. Watch as it appears the boy tries to beat the ghost off him. The entire episode left him traumatized as he sought comfort in his grandmother's lap. With that, Bishop Edwards set about his task, first sanctifying the grounds with olive oil and then blessing the boy.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Again? Right? No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue rise against in judgment. I bind it, I condemn it. Don't resist it, son. Don't resist it. Every tongue that rises against in judgment, I take authority. Roll up responsibility. Roll up responsibility. I speak the authority in the name of Jesus. I speak the authority of the name of Jesus.
He left with advice for the boy to call the name of Jesus if he feels the spirit bothering him, although the bishop is confident this ordeal is over. After the blessing, the boy told our news team that he still sees the apparition, although it doesn't bother him anymore. Before that, he says he had almost become accustomed to the troubles.
Yes, afraid of him, but no, when him trouble me, I just feel like to laugh.
The family now hopes this will end a months-long ordeal that has followed them through several parishes.
Everywhere I carry him is the same thing. I carry him to Montego Bay, it's the same thing. I dry him on the bed, I have to lift up the bed to take him from on the bed. I carry him to Portmore, is the same thing. I carry him to a friend's house, is the same thing. Be a stone, be a knife and cutlass, flinging after him.
It's hoped things can now return to normal. Kalila Enriquez, CVM News.
In the Taweez, there was like one man standing with the left hand forward, left foot forward, Allah's name on the left leg. Also, Also, when people... I'm sorry, I can't speak no more.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت الذي إذا شئت تجعل الحزن سهلا. اللهم سهل. Oh Allah, give her the speech inshallah. Allahumma give her the power to continue her speech, Ya Allah. Carry on inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Sorry about
So do you mean a magician or somebody send this jinn to block you to speak or to go to court?
Yes, blocked.
You blocked her, ya Aduullah, huh? You enemy of Allah, you blocked her, huh? But inshallah, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala block you in this dunya, in the akhirah. Remember, ya ayyuhal jinn, remember inshallah that you are going to stand before Allah Yawm al-Qiyamah, and Allah going to ask you why you entered this body. What you are going to say to Allah Ta'ala Yawm al-Qiyamah? يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. Huh? What you are going to say to Allah Ta'ala, or the jinn in that body?
No!
What you are going to say to Allah Ta'ala? What you are going to say to Allah? Are you Muslim or non-Muslim?
No!
Muslim or non-Muslim?
No!
Muslim or non-Muslim? Who created you? Who created you? Who created you? Who created you and why? Huh? Remember that you are going to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are going to die, yeah? And remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Yawm al-Qiyamah, He will ask you why you entered the body of that lady. What you are going to say to Him, Ya Allah, forgive me. The magician is the one who told me, go and ruin her life. Go and stop her talking. Yes? But it will be late. Allah will send you to Jahannam khalidina fiha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, and He said, don't fear them and fear me if you're a believer. وَلَا تَخَافُهُمْ وَخَافُونِ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give our sister inshallah, inshallah give her inshallah the strength, and give her iman, and give her power inshallah, that she will get rid of you. And don't worry inshallah, you are not strong in the quwwata lillahi jami'a. The Allah most high, most powerful.
It's a picture you really have to look at, and when you do, you'll notice something's just not normal. In fact, it might be paranormal.
Fox 31's Tammy V. Hill got the photo from an Aurora couple, and she's here with how they say it changed their lives. Tammy?
Ron and Libby, they say the proof is in this picture. It may be hard to see. I mean, who would expect an evil spirit to show up at a wedding anniversary reception with all that fancy clothing and wedding cake? An Aurora man says it happened. We let you decide. Like the death of a season, Joe Martinez says drugs were killing his soul.
As I look at it, I carry it wherever I go.
Until an image within a picture saved his life.
I right away thought it was Satan. I really thought, I said, man, you're really walking with Satan.
This picture was taken at his in-laws' anniversary 8 years ago.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing at a 50th wedding anniversary.
And it languished in a photo album until this year, when they finally noticed what lurked over Joe's left shoulder.
There's good and evil in life. There's the good on the right-hand side of me, and there's the evil on the left-hand side of me.
It looks like a dog, but Joe says
it was a demon.
This is interesting.
We showed the photo to Rocky Mountain Paranormal Research Society, which has studied unexplained phenomena for 10 years.
The majority of the cases, 99% of the cases, are explainable by other means.
This one, though, he says he doesn't have enough evidence to make a determination.
That's very strange.
This photo expert of 20 years says the picture looks authentic.
It doesn't look like it was double printed or spliced in any way. There's true grain. The grain is the same all throughout this photograph, so it's uniform.
I carry it wherever I go.
The Martinezes say they know the image is real.
I always pray to the Lord and told him, look, you know, I can't do it alone.
and they credit it with helping Joe's recovery.
I'm going to stay clean.
It's a reminder that the solemn season of his past is behind him.
I have to, because I've got no other, there's not another high left in me.
Now, Joe says other portraits taken that night by other family members in the same area didn't show the dog. Now, Joe carries that picture with him and tells people at schools and at rehab centers that there is evil out there when you are into drugs.
Ikut saya. Ashhadu. Ashhadu. Allah. Allah. Ilaha. Ilaha. Illallah. Illallah. وأشهد أن محمد رسول الله. Aku bersaksi bahwa tidak ada Tuhan yang disembah kecuali Allah. Dan aku bersaksi bahwa Muhammad utusan Allah. Wahai Idrus, kamu sekarang sudah Islam, kamu mau ubah nama atau nama kamu yang semula Idrus? Idrus. Itu saja? Idrus. Itu saja? Oke. Kamu sekarang dari manusia lagi, boleh? Kamu berjanji dan kamu tidak akan masuk lagi. Oke, kamu balik ya. Kamu balik ke alam kamu dan kamu jangan sekali-kali mengganggu manusia. Siapapun dia, saya berjanji. Saya ajarkan Islam, mau? Mau? Bagus. Ikut saya. Ashhadu. Ashhadu. Allah. Allah. Ilaha. Ilaha. Illallah. Illallah. Wa ashhadu. Wa ashhadu. Anna. Muhammadar.
September 1978, a series of events took place which stunned the nation and have subsequently become one of the world's most shockingly infamous poltergeist cases.
You understand that you really shouldn't be in this house?
That was a very strange house, and something very strange was going on there.
Everything that you know about poltergeists occurred in that house.
They were scared out of their wits. They just didn't know what was going on.
Reports of levitation,
Floating around the room in mid-air, and it frightened the life out of her.
Possession.
There was no doubt that the voice was coming from Janet herself.
Come on, my name's Boris. Let me hear you say it. Alex.
Furniture and objects being moved and thrown when nobody was around.
A sofa would flip over or a chair would move across the room.
Just couldn't document everything on this case. I mean, things happening absolutely all the time.
This was unlike any case that had gone before and left a permanent mark on all those that were involved. This is the story of the Enfield poltergeist.
This weird tale begins with these two men, Guy Winters and Terry Lambert. For years, Guy and Terry have heard rumours about a haunted mansion on the outskirts of town.
People would see the ghost of a female, an apparition that would drift down the lane that led to this old house.
Intrigued, the men decide to investigate the deserted house with their own cameras. This is the actual videotape from that unforgettable night.
The storm was going, lightning crashing.
Lightning like I've never seen. It was like dripping plastic out of the sky. Really strange.
And in the clump of trees there was this big two-story old brick mansion, abandoned, kind of dilapidated looking.
Unaware of what awaits them, Guy and Terry go inside.
Everything throwing shadows through the house, so it was pretty eerie. And basically we took a series of pictures all through the house, the upstairs, downstairs, stairwells.
Terry claims that he then ventured back outside to take more photos.
I took a series of 3 pictures of an upstairs window. And after I took that series of pictures, I went around to the back of the home and I took a picture of the doorway.
Still in the house, Guy continues his investigation. But suddenly, he feels that he is no longer alone.
I felt this presence come over me and the smell was like sulfur and roses. Real strong smell.
You hear that? Heartbeat.
And this heartbeat was in my head, but it wasn't my own heartbeat. I really felt like I was dying. This feeling of anxiety was just overwhelming. And I was afraid I wasn't going to make it out of there.
Guy and Terry run from the house, afraid to stop until they reach the safety of their van. But this ghost story is far from over. When Terry develops the film from his still camera, he's shocked by what he sees. 3 consecutive pictures of what appears to be a woman glowing in a pink light, floating in the second-story window. Another pink shape is captured at the back door.
Pretty much, it blew me away, I have to say. I've never seen anything like that on film.
Could this be the ghost of Greencastle, or merely a photographic abnormality? To find out, Guy and Terry showed the pictures to their friend, photo expert Mick Orman.
What is in the picture came from the negatives. It's very interesting and a little unnerving.
Next, these mysterious images were analysed by a computer graphics expert, Sean Dempsey. It's during Sean's high-tech examination that the photograph reveals another startling secret.
And then I tried something called bas relief, which basically takes the light and dark parts of the picture and emphasizes them. And I got the creepiest thing from this one photo. Her face, and I don't know how else to describe it, but that to me just looks like a skull. I've got to be honest, it's either a real photo of a ghost or it was done with a photographic technique that I don't know about.
With experts at a loss for answers, Guy and Terry have their own theory. They now believe they've photographed a real ghost. But if it's true, then whose spirit is it? Guy believes that the Pink Lady is a woman who lived and died here in the early 20th century. Her name, Irene O'Hare, the same name that they found scratched onto one of the bedroom walls. Guy and Terry make more trips to the mansion, but the ghost of Greencastle does not reappear. However, the men capture 2 other images that are just as difficult to explain. The first is this photograph of what appears to be a woman in a flowing gown. Due to her intense colour, she is known as the Gold Ghost. The second strange event occurs while Guy takes pictures of the mansion. Suddenly, 3 cloud-like shapes fly by. Is this merely fog or some type of mist? If so, it would need a strong breeze to travel this fast. But Guy's clothes and hair never move, indicating that no wind is blowing. Unfortunately, these and other questions may never be answered, because the mansion was destroyed to make way for this cornfield. But the memories of the Greencastle mansion live on with Guy and Terry, who may have done the unthinkable. Captured images of visitors from the other side.
لا حجة لكم علينا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصافات صفا. أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. اقرأ الكرسي. بسم الله الرحمن اقرأ. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده. قل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هذا القرين دخول قرين. اقرأ الكرسي. ركز له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم. ركز ما ضل جسمك فيه شيء. قول بسم الله مرة ثانية. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس مالك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. تفضل مرة ثانية.
At least 4 people were shot dead and 13 were wounded as overnight the battle for Tahrir Square in central Cairo took on an increasingly violent turn. Pro-Hosni Mubarak supporters are said to have opened fire on anti-government protesters. Egypt's army has now begun deploying tanks in among the protesters. The nighttime deaths add to those killed yesterday, underlying just how dangerous the demand for democracy has become. Many see the increase in violence as an attempted government-backed crackdown on the pro-democracy demonstrations. Mubarak promised on Tuesday to surrender power in September to try to defuse the unprecedented challenge to his 30-year rule, but his refusal to go immediately through.
He's screaming and crying. Little boy in my room, he came out of the closet. I went, okay, you're scaring me. Can you stop? This is really frightening.
The way it flew to the bottom of the screen, that's the part that actually freaked me out.
I didn't know what to even think that it was. I was creeped out.
I would feel that there was just something in the room with me.
Things started flying off the shelves, and we were all just speechless.
And sometimes those feelings would be so strong, and I could feel my hair follicles raise up.
I couldn't see it until I took a photograph. I've never seen anything like that.
My eyes were like saucers. Did we capture a ghost?
There is something in this house. As soon as you walk in, you want to walk out. Is there anyone in here?
It's Sharon Tate.
いくつか写してみたいと思います。
カメラ。
このカメラ、怪我をした男性が落としたカメラですね。何か不気味なものが映ってます。なんだろう。
どうした？あっちあっち。あれ？誰かいる？
professional demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren.
A poltergeist can be terrifying. So anybody says that a poltergeist is mischievous, they better take a second look.
During their 50 years of hunting ghosts, Ed and Lorraine claim to have encountered hundreds of poltergeists. They've also been the subject of numerous books and have consulted on several high-profile cases, including the Amityville Horror.
Poltergeist is nothing more than a devil or a demon as far as we're concerned. People say, this guy's going back into the medieval ages. There are no such things as devils or demons. Yes, there are.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
The Warrens feel that some of the most compelling evidence ever recorded has been videotaped by them in this Connecticut home. For months, the family, whose faces are obscured to protect their identity, have been tormented by what they fear is a poltergeist. Ed attempts to communicate with the troubled spirit.
1 knock for yes, 2 for no. Are you a man? Are you a boy?
The mother leans against the kitchen table, her hands in full view as Ed continues asking questions.
You want the people in this house to move? 1 knock for yes, 2 for no. Yes. Okay. Who is it that you don't like the most here? Is it? Is it? Is it their father? Is it their mother?
Oh my God.
Okay. I command you to reveal your identity.
Next, Ed decides to confront the poltergeist alone.
Give me some sign. Is that you moving something? Give me some sign that you're here. What I did was use religious provocation. I have to provoke it into some type of outward manifestation. And that was my point in doing that. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to reveal your identity.
On the following night, the family reports that the poltergeist seems to be more active than ever. Only now, its attention is focused on the family's 10-year-old daughter.
The little girl is trying to do her homework, but you can see that the chair keeps sliding backwards.
You're holding it down, aren't you? It's got that much strength to it.
Now, if you watch, you can see the little girl's legs are up on the rungs of the chair. She's not pushing herself up from the floor. The mother is not tipping that chair backwards. No. Nobody is touching that table. The table moves of its own volition.
The Warrens quickly arrange for 3 priests to perform an exorcism in the home, and the disturbance ends. But for how long? Could the angry poltergeist ever return?
We have found that it can be quieted down, but then it'll escalate again. We still keep our fingers crossed because it could, and we hope and pray it don't.
What's your name? You're not pushing that, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to keep my fingers on it. L I Lisa? Who's Lisa?
Did you push that?
I did not push that.
Seriously, none of you guys push that over to the X like that?
No.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
You guys doing something underneath the table?
No.
So that looked like it moved all on its own.
Give it another shot, see what happens.
Okay.
And you guys are saying you're not pushing this, right?
No. This thing's just like a regular board strip to Captain Howdy. Not pushing that.
Come on, you guys are around,
That
right?
is too weird for me. And you want me?
Are you okay? Bethard, oh my god! Bethard! Bethard! What's wrong? Get rid of it! Bethard! Bethard! Are you okay? Oh my god, you guys! Bethard! Okay, like a little bird. Bethard! How do you get rid of it? Oh, that's saline. Bethard! Bethard, are you okay? Come here, guys. Come on. Bethard. Oh my god. Bethard. Do you need water? You want some water? Guys, can we get some water, please?
Is there anyone here?
Besides us, besides you.
Come on.
Let's switch spaces. You write down. All right. You record. Monica, you got this. You got this, girl.
Yeah, girl.
All right. Watch out, Ouija board. We're coming for you. Okay. Is there anyone here with us? Are you? No. Are you touching?
Are you?
No.
Barely.
I barely have my hands on here at all. What?
Wow.
That is really moving now. Yes. Okay. What is your name?
Ooh. Wow.
What is the deal with these swirly things?
His name is 8.
Z O Z O Z O.
Oh my.
Z. Oh, is your name Zoe?
Oh, it's so creepy. Oh my gosh.
What? No. Okay. Is your name Zozo?
Zozo the clown. That is so creepy. What the? Monica, what are you doing? Hey, Monica! Oh my God, Monica!
This is the most notorious haunted house in the world. It is to be found in the sleepy seaside town of Amityville, an hour away from the hustle and bustle of New York City. 30 years ago, a truly horrifying crime was committed here, when 6 members of the DeFeo family were shot dead in a single night. Even now, the details of exactly how these brutal murders were carried out remain shrouded in mystery. 1 year later, the Lutz family moved in. They fled from the house, having lived there for only 28 days, claiming that they had been driven out by terrifying and unexplained supernatural forces. Their story was the subject of a media frenzy, turned them into celebrities, and became a worldwide bestseller, The Amityville Horror. It would spawn numerous books and films, including one that was released just this year. Mediums and psychic investigators have claimed there is a curse on the property. Others say that the Lutz's story is no more than a clever money-making scheme, built on the gruesome history of the house.
It is probably one of the most haunted homes in the world. It's certainly one of the most publicized haunted homes in the world.
Whatever happened, it was a confluence of events and personalities, and it meshed to form the perfect psychic storm.
It's just this web of lies, and the motivation was simple enough.
They produced a beautiful commercial scam. Their version is not a true story, but if they call it a true story, you know, how can you say that they're liars?
There were too many things that had happened and were going on to sit there in denial that something wasn't right with this.
I guess the Amityville Horror really is supposed to be me, because I'm the one that got convicted of killing my family. I'm the one who said did it. I'm the one that's supposed to be possessed by the devil.
What is the truth about the house in Amityville? And is there really a curse on all who live there?
Well, we went to a prayer meeting like we normally do Sunday night, and came home like any other ordinary night, went to bed.
3:23, I awoke, and I found my husband in a state that I've never, ever seen him in. I heard him scream out, pray for me, the Lord has taken me to hell."
At 3 o'clock in the morning, I was picked up and taken by the Lord and dropped off in a prison cell in hell. It was rough-hewn stone walls with bars. I was awake and cognizant. It was not a dream. I knew I was actually in this place. My mouth was so dry, and I noticed the first thing was the tremendous heat. There's not enough air. This is how you have to breathe in hell. It's like, and I noticed there were these huge creatures in this cell, and they were just cursing God. Then they directed that hatred towards me, and they had absolutely no mercy. One picked me up and threw me into the wall. The other one grabbed me and picked me up. I just was like a little rag doll in its clutches. And I noticed the darkness was so intense, and there was an evil presence about the darkness, and you could feel it. I could see flames in the distance. The flames were raging hundreds of feet in the air.